What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome into another edition of MVP Games Live. We're actually back for Mold Break Monday, or Mold Breaker Monday. We had to take a pause. Usually we do that on Mondays. So today, you might have saw the tweet, we're here with Trend Setting Tuesdays, because when Mold Breaking Monday...
That's what it's called.
When it moves to Tuesdays, we're just going to call it Trend Setting Tuesdays. I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Soapy Muffin.
Hey.
Soapy, you said you've been doing a lot of cleaning today, but I have noticed that it is December and not springtime, so I'm kind of confused. You doing the spring cleaning kind of early, I hear?
Yeah, just got to get it all out of the way, so when springtime comes, there's not as much to clean.
There's not anything to clean, hopefully. You do it all right now?
There's gonna be a mess to clean.
Yeah, there's always a mess to clean. I mean, the only reason why I am shocked as I look to my side, and it's just basically like the only part of this room that is clean is everything you see here. Behind me, I'm looking to my left, there's like t-shirts, there's a laundry basket, there's my old rug up against the wall, there's a t-shirt over there. I've got fucking napkins in front of me from when I was eating dinner here during our watch along. So like, I also need to clean my area. I probably should, but fuck it. You guys see the clean area that's around me and behind me. But so be on our back, like I said, Trend Setting Tuesday, which today we're going to take a break from the gaming news. I know Cyberpunk's coming out and everyone wants to talk about that. Fuck it, we'll talk about that tomorrow on the 9th. But the thing we're talking about today, Soapy, and I'll introduce it before housekeeping, is casual versus hardcore. We're going to get into kind of, is one ruining gaming? One or the other ruining gaming? Can you get the most out of gaming as a casual, or do you need to be a hardcore for certain games? Should be a fun topic for today. Before we get into everything, though, make sure to check out that Discord, the greatest community on the internet, on the world, or in the world, in all of the universe. And that link is down below in the description, or exclamation Discord into Twitch chat. Get you that link. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids. That's how you go ahead and do that. Again, link down below if you're on YouTube, or exclamation Patreon into Twitch chat. Get you that link too. Like I said, we're on Twitch every Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/MVPvids. And you can find us on YouTube at MVP Entertainment as well. And Soapy, let's get into it. So the thing I kind of want to start first is I want to be toxic about it. I want to get the toxicity of our city, get it out of the way, and kind of go with because we're going to cover a little bit of everything in this discussion. But usually what people think is when they do casual and hardcore, they pit the two against each other, because especially for me, I feel like it's one of the things where in some games, you kind of have to be hardcore to get the most out of it. Like, for example, World of Warcraft, which I love to play. You kind of have to be a little bit hardcore to get the most out of that. Or it used to be that way. Now, WoW's kind of catering to the casuals a little bit. But the thing I will ask you first, and the thing we'll get out of the way, is for the people that ask the question, are casuals or is casual gaming ruining gaming, what would your response be to that statement?
I don't think it's ruining gaming. I think it's opening it up more to people. Like, It's one of those things that we're currently in a time period with gaming that it's more accessible than it has ever been. Because, like, before it was like, obviously, it was more of like the stigma of like, if you played video games, you were a nerd and everything. But now it's like, for instance, like, there are so many different types of consoles out there, so many different types of games, there are so many different ways to play games that, it's so much more accessible now, and a lot of people don't have time to sit down and absolutely, like, no life a game.
Yeah.
Or I think it's making it more accessible to those people who didn't have, like, the time to sit down and be like, oh, fuck, dude, oh, man, I really want to play, I'm going to use World of Warcraft, for example, I don't play it, but
yeah.
If someone was like, man, dude, I really want to play World of Warcraft, but, like, I don't have the time to sink into it. Like, them starting to cater it, not so much, like, just flat out cater it, because obviously you don't want to completely isolate the hardcore side of your fan base, but, like, making it more accessible, making it more casual-oriented for people, it's going to bring more people in. Like, I don't think it's hurting it.
Yeah.
If a game, like, over casual, like makes it way too casual, then I think we start having a problem, because that's where I lead to RPG games.
Yeah.
I think RPGs are heavily affected by making a game casual.
Mm-hmm.
And for instance, I will use Fallout for example. It's a game that I constantly just love to bitch about because, man, it's one of those things that, like, the reason I do not like Fallout 4
Yeah.
is the fact that it's such a casual, friendly game
Mm-hmm.
that it's mind blowing. Of like, it's not even an RPG game anymore. It is the
Yeah.
loosest definition of RPG because they're like,
Yeah.
we have a dialogue wheel. There's quests you can do, and it's like, wow, the dialogue wheel is yes, no, question, sarcastic. I'm like, man, what a fucking dialogue wheel.
What
This is almost like the Mass Effect flirt, try to flirt harder, die.
Oh, man. I mean, for me, though, it's one of those things where, like, if you're... I kind of feel like, first off, single-player games, they don't really matter if you're hardcore or casual. Because, like, since you're not interacting with anyone else, you can kind of play those at your own pace. And if you want to go hardcore and go kind of trophy hunting or achievement hunting, you can go ahead and do that. It's really... The whole casual and hardcore discussion plays into games that you were talking about. RPGs, MMOs, like JD brings up, Rainbow Six Siege, like that, Call of Duty, those games kind of go into the casual versus hardcore, because I'm going to alienate some people here, and I'm going to be like, I might get people that get mad at me for saying this, Soapy, but I understand the points that you bring up. I understand that time is valuable. Like, for example, one of my favorite quotes is of Triple H from WWE, where he was talking about the streaming service one time, and he said, the thing you got to understand is you are fighting. If you're a streamer, if you're a YouTube, like, influencer, like we're doing, technically we're called influencers. If you're a TV show, if you're a streaming service, if you're a game, if you're anything, you are fighting for people's time. And you only get 24 hours in a day. You don't get more, you don't get less. You get 24 hours. And it's like, you're not just going against the other streaming services and the other games and everything in your sphere. You're also going against sleep, work, family time, like all these other things that people have to kind of manage. And I know that you're probably sitting there going, yeah, well, Ricky, the hardcore people, they forget about those things a little bit. I think back to my high school days, especially when I first found out what WoW is. I've told this story, I think, a couple times on various podcasts, but I'll tell it again in case you're new. I literally remember the first weekend that I found out what WoW is, and I got it because how that happened was Dave's brother played it. Dave has 3 brothers. His middle brother, which is the one just older than him, he was playing WoW, and that's how Dave got introduced. And Dave's like, dude, you got to come over and you got to check out this game. I checked it out. I made a hunter. I played it for a little bit. I'm like, dude, this game is fucking fun. I got to get it myself. And I remember that first weekend that I was playing it, by the time I played it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By the time I got to Sunday, my mom literally came downstairs to my room, walked in and went, whoo, have you showered this weekend? And I literally went, I guess I haven't. And that's when basically my dad shut off the basically hard breakered the breaker system and was like, dude, you ain't getting power back to your room until you shower. So, like, I get the other side of hardcore, but there's a part of me that feels like casual gaming, I'm not going to say casuals, but casual gaming and maybe games trying to cater to casuals is ruining gaming a little bit. And I'm going to use, obviously, World of Warcraft as my main example because that's the one I play, Soapy, is back in the day, like I'm thinking like 2008, 2009, it's a prime example of I was more casual, Dave was more hardcore. And basically, if you were more hardcore, okay, I'm going to push raids, I'm going to push raid content, I want to be in a guild that's going to kill bosses, get through the shit quickly, and basically gear up so you can get to the bigger, higher level raids and dungeons. And that's where Dave got. He went through all the fucking raids all the way to the top, experienced literally the entire expansion, to be honest with you. Because there were about, let's see, Karazhan, Gruul's, Tempest Keep, Serpentine, Black Temple, Hyjal, Sunwell. There was about maybe like Mag's Lair. There's like at least 8 raids. I think ZG was there. So like 8 or 9 raids. For Burning Crusade, Dave experienced them all. I experienced maybe like a third of that. So like, to me, I am on the side of, I think games like RPGs, MMOs, the competitive ones like Rainbow Six Siege and Call of Duty, they should keep the hardcores and the casuals separate. Because to me, especially for like a game like World of Warcraft, I am not on the side of, hey, I'm buying this game, I should be able to experience all of it. I kind of come into it and I go, you know what kind of game you're buying. If you're not going to put in the effort, to be at least semi-hardcore, then it should be like, okay, like just no, you're not going to experience the complete package like someone who is hardcore would be able to experience. And I know that opinion is going to alienate some people and probably put a target on my back.
Yeah, and I mean, and I see where that argument comes from. You know, like, I share a similar thought of where it's, like, you should understand what genre you're stepping into, because certain genres will have different things. Like, for instance, if you're stepping into shooters, there's going to be a hardcore aspect no matter which one you're playing.
Yeah.
Whether it's Valorant, Counter-Strike, League, or not League, League's not a shooter, Call of Duty, Rainbow Six, I'm trying to think of other ones. Like, fuck Battlefield.
Battlefield. Are we going to throw in, like, the Overwatch and the Valorant as well?
Yeah. It's basically with those, like, there's always going to be that hardcore element, because there is, I don't know for Battlefield, but, like, sort of like a hardcore scene, and, like, mostly, like, competitive. The only problem with separating casual and hardcore with those is, like, yes, most of those have a ranked mode. The only thing is, when those people don't want to play ranked, where else are they supposed to go?
Yeah.
There's only one other place they can go, which is the casual lobbies. You know, and it's one of those things where, you know, there's always going to be the butting of heads between casual and hardcore players. Like, hardcore players are the ones who will type in chat, you know, like, oh, you know, F this, F that. You know, I'm going to try to cut down on swearing on the podcast. I ain't going to try to do it too much.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I say fuck it, let it rear loose. Like, that's why we're on YouTube and not radio, right?
Yeah, I mean, or YouTube will find some way to get mad at me. But,
all right.
Like, for instance, you see people going at it in the chat, and then you always see the people like, wow, I can't believe you're getting mad in a casual. Like, there's always that aspect of where it's...
Or the casual response of like, geez, bruh, fucking calm down. It's just a game, bruh. It's just a game.
Yeah, and obviously it's one of those things where... And hardcore and casual also does, like, break off more into different things.
Yeah.
Because, like, for instance, with... Like, I would say, like, hardcore gamers tend to have more of, like, that competitive drive. Because, like, for instance, you know, and I've always said this before, like, because I think I've brought it up in the podcast before. I used to play competitive Siege, really fucking not that good.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things. But, like, that took a lot of fucking time out of my day. Like, it would basically be, I would come home from school, like, and obviously, you know, someone's gonna be like, oh, what org did you play for? Well, I played on console, so there wasn't an org.
I mean, it's almost like you're on a sports team, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, of where it's, you know, like, we're constantly practicing, we're doing stuff together as a team. And it's one of those things where, like, that opened my eyes of when I stepped away and just tried to play the game normally. Like, I noticed I still had, like, that little, not like a nervous twitch.
It's like you can't turn it off.
Yeah. Of where, like, for instance, like, I'd be playing something and, like, I don't know, I'll stick with Siege. Like, let's say there's a map called Oregon.
Yeah.
And one of the bomb sites is in the basement. And there's a common setup that everyone does with Mira where you board up, like, laundry room and you put up the Mira wall and everything.
Yeah.
When I see people, like, go against that and board up or, like, barricade the other wall next to it, I don't know why. Something ticks in my head that I just get really pissed for no reason. Like, I'll be calm whole day. Like, not a single thing would have made me mad. I see that and I just go into, like, the You are an actual fucking idiot mode.
I mean,
Like,
I feel the same way with Overwatch, though. Like, for me, the whole thing is, yet again, this is going into like rank versus non-ranked, where I'll say if you're a casual player, don't step into rank, because the only reason people play rank is you want to up your level. Like for Overwatch, it's I want to try to get to diamond, I want to try to get to gold. Wherever you are, you want to get higher. And the thing that would absolutely make me so angry playing that game is, so I'm the kind of guy where Pharah's my bottom bitch, okay? Like, she's my main. I ride or die with the Pharah. However, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I understand, like, we've got a group makeup. Let me go with this character. Let me play this tank. All right, we need a healer. Let me go healer. Like, I wouldn't be afraid to be able to switch, to look what the team had and say, okay, I need to switch to help our team. And I would get so angry at the people that would just, it's like, oh, I'm going to play this character. Yeah, but we don't need that fucking character. Why did you, or I'm going to switch to this one. It's like, why did you switch to that one? We didn't fucking need that character. Like, that's where I would get. But yet again, most of the games I play, I lean towards the hardcore now. Even my single player games, I'm a trophy hunter. So I lean towards the hardcoreness.
yeah, and like obviously games like Overwatch have tried to stem people from doing stuff like that.
Yeah, now
for instance, they have
you
select
got to queue up for like.
Which I'm just saying, dude. Role selecting casual is stupid. I don't care. Like, I'm being serious. Like, that is the dumbest thing they've ever added. Like, there are times I just want to play an attack character. I don't want to just play healer every game.
Yeah.
If I want to play healer every game, I'll play ranked.
And let's be honest, if you want to play a damage character, good luck. You're waiting 20 minutes between games.
Yep. It's just annoying of where like you don't need, and like I think that's where like the bleeding over of hardcore and casual happens too much, of where like you had the like players who like maybe doing warm up games in casuals, like they're bringing in that like we don't need 4 attacking characters. What are you guys doing? Like they bring that in where it's casual. People are doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Also, I know Blizzard, you're not listening to this, and you wouldn't listen to me anyways because you guys hate me. Let us all select the same hero again.
What do you mean? Oh, you're talking about
like how you used to be able to have like 6 Torbjorns on one team.
Yeah. Now you can.
That's
only
the best
have
one.
One, right?
Yep, one of each.
Okay. I mean,
I'm just saying, dude. I just want to play 6 Roadhogs.
Nah, I kind of understand. I kind of understand where. I understand the one of each, because like there's exploits that you can fucking do with that, or unless you're just talking about in non-ranked mode.
Yeah, just in casual.
Okay.
Like casual should be like anything goes.
Yeah. Because like the one thing I'm thinking, you brought up Blizzard, and like I just want to throw this out there. The one thing that Blizzard did to where, I don't know if this is just me, but when they added so how they've always had it is for 5-man dungeons, there's always been a looking for group past casual. So from Burning Crusade on, there was a looking for group option where you could say, I want to run a random dungeon. I put you in a queue, randomly put you with 4 people, 1 tank, 1 healer, 3 DPS. Boom, you guys go ahead and do it. The one thing that I feel like, to me, kind of want to say it's a bad thing that they added, but like I understand why they added it, was a raid finder. Because to me, raids are a special event to where it's like you have to get with your guild, get with your friends that you made. Because to me, a game like World of Warcraft is, I'm playing that game to A, make friends, B, find a group of people that are kind of like my ride or die, that I want to play with. Like every single iteration of WoW, I have had that. To where even when Dave and I went over to the private servers, we found a group of people that were basically our ride and dies that we were able to do all our raiding with and stuff, and kind of play the game together and kind of just chill with. But I feel like the looking for raid group is killing that. And like, I get why they're putting it in. They want to kind of cater to that casual crowd of like, well, I'm only on for this many hours. I just want to jump in and raid, and I don't have time to find a guild. But like, I don't know. To me, it's killing that kind of like that community aspect. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, I feel like in retail, there's not as many good communities when there are guilds. There are good guilds out there, but like, I don't know. I don't feel the same that I did when I was playing Classic, when I was playing Burning Crusade and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's perfectly fair to feel that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things of, like, guilds will never go away. Like,
Well,
obviously, you know, like, yeah, like, they never will, but, like, my whole thought process with it is obviously there are casual friendly guilds, but even that, some of those are still, like, pushing what some casual players want.
Mm-hmm.
Of where, like, they'll be like, hey, we're going to try to raid once a week. A casual player may be like, hey, I don't have time to raid this week. And then obviously, like, you know, that guild may kick them out and stuff like that. Because I remember for a little bit when I was playing through Elder Scrolls Online, I was in a guild and, like, I went into a casual guild where they were like, oh, hey, we don't really do anything. And they're like, hey, you know, we're going to start doing this event. And I'm like, I can't do that event. I'm not high enough level. And I got kicked out of the guild.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things of where it was with that. Like,
I would just say you were in a shitty guild. Let's be honest. Like,
yeah,
something like that of like, man, I'm not a high enough item score or gear score. Like, if the guild really liked you, they would be like, oh, no, dude, that's cool. We'll fucking run some dungeons or whatever. Get you some gear. We'll get you geared up for it.
Yeah, except that's not how Elder Scrolls Online works, but that's a whole different fucking animal.
Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of the WoW thing, but yeah.
WoW, it's basically you go through dungeons and get better gear. With Elder Scrolls Online, you have to level up, like actually level up in game, so unlock perk points, and then you slowly unlock the dungeons.
Okay, so it's a timing. Like you would have to put in X amount of time.
A lot of fucking hours.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Because they can't just do the whole, like, oh, we'll just drag you into, like, a top-level dungeon, level you up, like, 10 times. You can't do that. They'd have to do the same dungeon as me.
Makes more sense.
Which would be, like a level 20 dungeon or something like that, which would be garbage.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. I'm, yet again, thinking of it in the WoW terms, because that's what I'm playing.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's fair, because that's the one you have the most experience with. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things where, like, I think a raid finder would be better for some, like, it is better for casual players because, you know, like, in my situation of, I don't play the game enough.
Yeah.
I also haven't played it in, like, 2 weeks, so. But it's one of those things that, like, if I got back into it, like, I don't want to keep looking for guilds and everything. Like, because sometimes it's a hassle to find guilds, because you see all the ones, like, because most of the guilds are hardcore players.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there are, like, the occasional, like, hey, we're a casual, friendly guild, but it's like, they're kind of pushing the boundary of where some people may not be like...
Or you get the fucking idiots that go, we're casually hardcore. You can't be casually hardcore. They're on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah,
gotta
like,
woosah there. Woosah there, Soapy.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that is, like, casual players may not have time to scroll through all of the guilds and find one that actually works for them.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. Raid finders may help them find that guild.
But
because hell, let's say those 5 people that match into that guild or like match in that raid, they're like, wow, we really like playing with each other. I'll add you guys, and at some point they may be like, hey, you want to run another one? So you kind of find your raiding group. Like, I think, like, obviously that is a more casual way of finding a group of players. But, like, I don't think that's a bad way of finding them. Like, I know, like, it does hurt the community aspect in the sense of, like, guilds aren't as big as they would be before.
I just
but
think,
at the same time, it's like, do guilds need to be as big as they were for a community to be strong?
Well, I mean, it's not about the size of the guild. Like, I don't want this to turn into all the problems Ricky sees with retail, but, like, the one thing that I feel like WoW has been catering lately, the last few expansions, a little bit more to the casual side. And to me, by doing that, it's kind of hurting the communication level of everything, to where, like, when I'm on, general chat's not as poppin' as it is, trade chat's not as poppin' as it usually is. It's like there's not that communication because it's like, well, instead of saying, oh, who wants to run this raid, blah, 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 I can just, go into Raid Finder and not have to communicate with anybody. Maybe that's a kind of societal thing, too, because I will say it seems like as we get further into the future, I feel like more and more people are becoming less social, if that makes sense. Towards, like, obviously...
people are becoming more introverted.
Yeah, more introverted, and it's like, even the sense of, and I know this is non-gaming, but I've noticed it over the years, like, I remember, like, 10 or 12 years ago, when I'd be outside going for a walk with my dog, so-and-so person passes by, oh, hey, how's it going? Hey, even if you didn't know each other, hey, how's it going? Now it's a thing of, like, I don't know if it's something to where it's like you don't trust people, or like you said, people are more introverted. Now it's like if you say hi to someone, they give you a weird look like, who the fuck are you? Or it's just like you pass each other awkwardly without saying a word to each other. I don't know. Like, to me, it's like, I feel like as we're going to the future, maybe that's a societal thing too. But the one point that I did make before that you kind of played into is, or I shouldn't say played into, but kind of made my point for me, is when you were talking about like, oh, well, this person, that's how they find their guild. They go into the Raid Finder. Yet again, like I said, I do not think that casual gamers should automatically be allotted the same privileges as a hardcore, to where it's like, it's kind of like the same discussion that Johnny and I had. This was before you had joined, obviously, the MVP team, Soapy. It's kind of like a conversation Johnny and I had where we talked about Cuphead, where the big thing about Cuphead was its difficulty. And there were a couple people out there in the blogosphere that were like, Cuphead's too hard, it needs an easier difficulty, it's unfair to buy a game and not be able to get through it. And I was kind of on the side of like, well, sucks to, it's like the Pat McAfee shirt from War Games. It's great to be great, it sucks to suck. Like, that's just how it is. Maybe it's because I also come from like my very early experiences with gaming. I'm talking like the Sega Genesis area, was if I wasn't good enough to get through a game, it was kind of like, well, sucks to suck. You can't get through the game because you can't get through this level. Now, I know obviously there are people out there that are like, well, that's just bad game design. Like, you should make it. It's like, but then there's a part of me of like, is it bad if games are like that? If games, and especially on this side, go, no, if you're a casual, you only get this much out of it. If you're a hardcore, you're going to get more out of said game than a casual would, or you're going to see more of the game than a casual would.
See, the only problem with that argument then is they should charge you for different amounts of content. Because then why would a casual player pay $60 for a game if they get 1/4 of it?
I mean, you're still paying for the same game. Like, I get the argument, but then it's also the side of like, you still have the same opportunity to see it. It's just, it kind of goes back to what we had said of like, you got to know what type of game you're getting into. Like, and I'm thinking like an MMO because that's what I've played. I haven't really played the Fallouts or the RPG. It's more of the MMO RPG that I've played. I feel like you're gonna get, you have the opportunity to, but if you're not gonna go, like, I don't think it should be like you have to be uber hardcore, but it should be something to where you have to be at least semi-hardcore in order to experience, or in order to progress through the game. If you're just going to be a super casual, and obviously there are some people that have to because of like work, family life, stuff like that, it should just be understood of like, well, okay, like, I'm not going to be able to progress as far as the other people. And it's just kind of like, maybe it's because I had that thought of when I played Burning Crusade of like, I knew Dave was pushing Black Temple content, and I was still on Gruul's Lair, which was the second raid out of the like 8. But I just sat there and I was like, well, you know, does it suck I'm not in Black Temple? Yeah, I want to be where Dave is, but let's be honest, Dave's putting in a lot of work, and he's in a much more hardcore guild than I'm in, so I'm kind of the attitude of like, well, I kind of chose this, so it's kind of like, I chose to play the game this way, so whatever, this is my decision that made me experience this much of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's one of those things where I don't completely disagree, but like for instance, like people who do play the game casually can do raids, like obviously much way after everyone else,
Yeah.
but like you can still get to that point of where it's like, because like I'll use Star Wars. I think it's just the Old Republic, not Knights of the Old Republic. The EA MMO they made. I played that game casual as fuck. I kept up with hardcore players, just playing on my own time.
Yeah.
Like obviously, was I like right with them? No, because if I was right with someone, that'd be sad. But like I would just play when I had free time, and I would do stuff like that. And then it got to the point of where it was like, oh, like I'm able to do final dungeons. Like obviously, like everyone was kind of moving on to like next expansions, dungeons, and everything. But I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm here. Like obviously, like am I expansion behind? Yeah, but like I'm still getting the content out of it. Like I don't think, like I think it's one of those things that, and this is why I think Raid Finder and stuff like that is good for MMOs. You have the casual player who is far behind the guilds.
Yeah.
To where Raid Finder helps those people find games. Like obviously, you know, like people who are doing new content as well are doing it as well.
Yeah.
But like, let's say for instance, like you're doing Shadowlands and I'm doing Battle for Azeroth. Like, you're not going to go back a whole expansion to do a raid that has inferior gear.
Now here, this is the thing though, and this is where it gets a little tricky. Of the only way I would go back and play with you is like you're doing a dungeon or a raid that has, like, for example, if I was playing a druid, there's one raid boss, I believe he is in BFA, where if you run the raid and you get, I think it's his staff that drops. If you get that on your druid, that allows you to kind of change your cat form to where your cat form is like a flaming cat. And it's like a fucking fire cat, which everyone was fucking running nonstop before Shadowlands. So, like, there is transmogs and stuff to where some people may go back to the old expansion with you in order to get a set piece of item so that they can transmog their current gear to make it look cosmetically like they want it to.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out how to explain it, because I'm also trying to relate it to other games as well. Because like MMOs, I'm not extremely versed in, because like I'm trying to put it into terms that I know that is mutual between us. But it's like, for instance, you mostly know World of Warcraft. I barely know anything about World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I mean, we know Call of Duty. Like, we talked about Call of Duty and Overwatch.
Yeah, Call of Duty's like the fucking definition though of like. If you're a hardcore, you're just fucking sweaty. Like you need to stop taking that game too serious.
Oh man, I fucking like this was, God, how many years ago was this? It was it Call of Duty Black Ops 2? This had to be around 2010, 2011, I want to say, because one of my sister's boyfriends, basically how that relationship worked, it was kind of weird. Because basically what he would do is he lived at our house, basically, like unofficially. He would hang out with my sister all fucking day. Then when she went to bed, he would come downstairs. He would see me playing my my PlayStation, and me and him would either play NHL or fucking Call of Duty all fucking night. And then he would sleep during the day. Yet again, don't know how that relationship worked. Obviously it didn't, because it ended and she's no longer with them. But there was a time where me and him were so hardcore into Call of Duty, Soapy, that we created, this is when Facebook was really big still. Like bigger than it is now. Well, it's not just for old people back then. We created a Facebook page called Nerd Nation Gaming, and we had a tag on our like the clan tag you get, and we just did nerd in all capital. And we actually like recruited people to fucking play with us, and we were just tearing it up, and we were so hardcore. We bashed people. We like basically trash talked the entire game while we were on voice chat. Is it a time in my life that I was proud of? Not particularly, because there was kind of a douchebag version of Ricky, but like you're like you're just sweaty, and it made me think back to us basically being like bros and be like, yeah, man, yeah, they just got a taste of Nerd Nation gaming, bro.
Yeah, that's just the too sweaty.
Oh man, you
Like,
want a piece
games
of the
that
Nerd Nation gaming?
Like, games that have like a legitimate, like, actually making money off of it.
I
Fucking
still have that picture.
like, dude, it's how do I want to explain this? Like, it annoys me when when people take games like Call of Duty as serious as like someone would take Siege, because Siege is meant for esports. Like, Call of Duty just so happened to turn into an esport.
Yeah.
And you can tell by the way it's presented. Of like, Call of Duty is still marketed heavily to the casual player. Rainbow Six Siege is marketed more towards like the, hey, do you want a tactical shooter that's not even tactical anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here you go, buddy. Here's Rainbow Six Siege. Call of Duty's just like, hey, dude, fucking call in a kill streak.
Call in a
kill streak and kill everyone on the map.
Dude, fucking nuke 'em, baby.
Yeah. Like, it's just one of those things of, like, Call of Duty, I feel, is one of those games that, like, you can't really use the casual versus hardcore. Like, I think they used to at least have, like, a ranked mode or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, now they really kind of don't. To where it's just like, okay, why are we doing this? Like, why are we pushing Call of Duty to be, like, a super competitive game?
So, did you play a lot of the Call of Duties?
Depends on which Call of Duty you're having as the cutoff.
So the picture I'm looking at, I remember the map vividly, where it was kind of a UK map. The teams were Spetsnaz versus SAS, and it had like in the one corner kind of like a red double-decker bus, and it had kind of like a train yard. Is that Modern Warfare?
MW3.
That's what it is. Okay. So yeah, it was that version where we had out of our entire team, there was me, my sister's boyfriend, and then 3 other people we met online, all got the nerd tag. And I still have the picture on my Facebook of my sister's boyfriend went 17, 3, and 6. I went 13, 2, and 3. Lieutenant Smiles went 13, 0, and 1. BLK Matt went 10, 0, and 4. And then Nick D 2306 went 7, 2, and 3. We demolished them. Final score was 7,500 to 2,000 or 2,000. No, we were not camping. We were running all over the map. We were just that good.
Camping, dude.
Dude, we were.
You can't even call yourself hardcore when you're camping.
We were on fire that
camping
game.
is a casual sport.
Yeah, I did not set up the campfire. I'm a runarounder.
Yeah, but you pitched the tent.
No, I didn't pitch no tent.
Oh no, you were pitching tent. You were sitting at that. You were sitting there roasting marshmallows.
No, was not. Totally was not. I mean, but yeah, we won fucking max score of 7,500 to 2,000. So we completely demolished them that game.
Yeah, like, it's just basically my point I'm trying to go for is, like,
yeah.
Call of Duty is one of those games that I never will understand why it has such a hardcore fan base behind, or not fan base, but like hardcore like players behind it.
Soapy's like, Ricky,
because,
shut
like,
up with the humble brag already. Let me talk.
Yeah, it's more of a, like, I'll never understand that part of it, because, like, yeah, there is a pro scene for Call of Duty, but newsflash to the people who dominate in the pub, it's called the public game for a reason. Because that's where you have the 10-year-olds that are like, how do I play a game? You have those people in there, and like the old people are like, I'm trying to recapture my youth. And then they suck at the game, and they're like, damn, my reflexes ain't what they used to be. You had those people.
Well, that's like Dave was telling me, because I should just bite the bullet and buy fucking Black Ops Cold War, the double edition for PlayStation, because I don't know when I'm going to get fucking a PS5 to play with Dave. But yeah, Dave was telling me for Black Ops Cold War, there was a guy that's like, we got some, sounded like an old guy trying to relive his youth, like, we got some campers up in here. Oh, But it's always been like that.
That's
I
when
mean,
you
think
know.
back to MW 2 and fucking, what was it, Halo 2 that had Beaver Creek, or was that Halo 1?
Dude, Beaver Creek was just a hellhole. Like, Beaver Creek is a fucking outlier.
Was that Halo 2 or Halo 1?
Yeah, that was Halo 2.
That's
Halo
what I
2 was
thought.
the one that had multiplayer.
Halo 2 also had the maps with the big fucking rings, right? Because all I remember is people would like get up there and then jump down and fucking no-scope snipe you or snipe you while they're in midair.
Yeah. Halo is something else, though, dude.
Fucking
Like, that's just
classic.
infuriating, dude.
Fucking
Because there's too many
classic.
weapons that one-shot it in Halo to be camping in a corner like a filthy camper.
Also,
They got the campfire, they got the fucking bonfire, they got their little guitar out playing a song for you.
Don't forget fucking, I think it was Dave's favorite weapons, the double needlers.
Oh my god.
Dual wield those needlers, my guy.
Yeah, I bet it was also the fucking heat-seeking needler too.
Yeah, they fucking they did their thing. They went right to him. Was there any other needler?
Disgusting. But at one point they didn't heat seek. You had to actually have skill to use a needler.
Yeah, no, the ones I remember, it was just like fucking hold down the button because they went right to you. And then the games where you had to fight for the sword.
Well, I mean, yeah, dude. I still, I know this has absolutely nothing to do with casual and hardcore. Like, it's kind of spun off a little bit.
Hey, this is what
dude,
happens.
In fucking Halo 2, when people used to do the glitch where they'd leap across the fucking map with the sword, that was terrifying. I have never been more terrified in my life watching something like that happen.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh, fuck.
Anyone who is too young, I never thought I'd be in this situation to fucking say that sentence.
Question.
Anyone who's too young.
So this is away from the casual hardcore. It could be Halo, it could be Call of Duty, any game like that. What is your favorite multiplayer map of all time?
Oh fuck, dude, that's putting me way too much on the spot.
Because I know mine off the bat. It's the one from MW 2 with the fucking plane in the middle of the map.
Oh, Afghan?
Yes. Oh, fucking best map I've ever played on. Every time I've been on that map, I fucking dominated the competition. Nobody could touch me.
I genuinely have no idea. That's like such an extreme fucking, like, on the spot moment. I guess I'd say original Nuketown.
But Soapy hates Nuketown.
I hate every Nuketown after the original. But it's one of those things that slowly reeling it back.
Yeah.
To the casual versus hardcore.
Yeah, go ahead. We're almost done.
Like, Call of Duty is aimed more towards the casual player. But for some reason, the hardcore players are like, oh, it's hardcore to be, damn it. You get those people. And then you get games that, like, that are like Siege. Like, you get games like Siege that originally were marketed more towards, like, the hardcore shooter fan base. Of, like, oh, it's tactical, one-tap headshots. Fucking, like, they say bullet drop. The bullet drop is the most bullshit thing I've ever heard in my life. Tell me one time I've ever seen a bullet drop in that fucking game. I'll wait. Because I ain't seen it yet. But, like, it's one of those things that when I've noticed, and I don't know if this is, I mean, it's not just me. Someone 100% has noticed this.
Yeah.
When games market themselves towards, like, a specific audience, have you noticed for some weird reason, the other side starts coming over to the game?
What do you mean? Give me an example.
Like, Call of Duty, for instance, markets itself as like, hey, everyone can play it, super accessible.
Yeah.
For some weird reason, there's a large hardcore fan base. Yeah. Siege markets itself as like, oh, realistic shooter, blah, 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 and then there's a bunch of casual players. Like, why does that happen?
Because, like, I have a feeling the hardcore part of it is the hardcore players have to, like, assert their dominance. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like,
you gotta be the fucking alpha male. Like,
gotta be the
listen
alpha
here, dude. That 10-year-old on the other side holding that controller just beat his ass. That old man beat him.
So also, before I ask you your final thoughts on things, because for me, I can't think of anything else that I need to say about casuals versus hardcore. My favorite multiplayer maps, because I pulled up an article and been looking at a few. Afghan was one of them. Fucking, do you remember Strike on Call of Duty 4? Modern Warfare.
I believe so.
So that one had like cars in it, and I used to remember it because I believe it was the one that had like you can be on the roof and like look across like obviously a middle area, and just kind of shoot across it. Fucking Crash, which was the one that had the fucking transporter helicopter crashed in the middle of it, and then fucking Raid from Black Ops 2. That had kind of a little like circular
Raid is fucking
drive through. Dude, that's such a fucking good map. Get a submachine gun on that map, like who? Ooh, you are
an SMG on fucking Black Ops 2 anyways, and you won the fucking game.
And then number 6
especially the PDW.
And then number 6 on this article was like one of my most hated maps in Terminal.
Man, dude, the Terminal hate really do be
the
real.
only reason I hated Terminal, I was so hit or miss with it. I either had the best game of my life or the worst game of my life on Terminal. I never had a middle game on Terminal because like that was a map where it's like you're constantly running around. It's so small and compact. You're just constantly running around trying to find people and finding them very easily.
That's what the best part about Terminal is, dude. People can't set up a goddamn campfire anywhere. There's no space.
No campfire COD. No camping.
Yeah.
No camp zone.
Yeah. I mean, also the best part about Terminal is when people would play like the mini games and stuff like that, and you would do dodgeball, and you would do it at the back of the map. Dodgeball was definitely the best mini game on that map.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, Soap, before we wrap it up?
I think casuals and hardcore both have a place in gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think they affect either one. It's more or less just the other side just hates each other for no reason.
Yeah. Well, that will be something that will never go away. It will never go away.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's just one of those things that games that can continue to simplify themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, certain genres shouldn't simplify themselves, like RPGs. Like, obviously, don't do the fucking Morrowind approach of where it's like, if you have anything below a 50 one-handed, have fun fucking doing anything the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't go to that level, but like, don't do it like fucking. Dude, don't even get me started. I thought of it, and I don't know why my brain just like got mad.
Soapy's like,
just basically don't take the Fallout 4 approach of simplifying it to the point of where it barely counts as an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only reason it counts is because it has a dialogue wheel.
Yeah. No, I get you. And like for me, it's like I might have pissed off some casuals today, but I've always been a little bit more on the hardcore side as I have gotten a little bit older. But that's going to do it for us today. Make sure to check out the Discord, the best community on the internet. That link down below, or !Discord in the Twitch chat gets you that link. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids is how you do that. Also, I didn't say this at the beginning of the show. I'll say it now. Thank you to our Patreon sponsors, Pat Hill and Philly Sean. Yet again, link down below, or Patreon into Twitch chat, where we are live every Monday through Friday at twitch.tv/MVPvids. And we're also on YouTube at MVP Entertainment. That's going to do it for Soapy and I. We'll be back tomorrow. I believe that Cyberpunk drops tomorrow. I know it comes out the 10th, but like I think some people are going to be able to play it as early as tomorrow. So maybe talking about that, a little bit of controversy already going on with Cyberpunk. We'll be back for you. MVP Sports, if you're on Twitch, that's coming up next with Dave and I making our predictions for the NBA season. But that is going to do it for us. I want to thank you guys for doing everything you do. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
Bye.